Florida men's basketball team is still alive and on to the Sweet 16. After a healthy win over Virginia, the Gators jumped all over Norfolk State. But two former Florida Gators are taking to the streets for a different kind of workout. Next month, the planning board will propose the center to the county commission, hopefully getting some new residents here soon. Now for one Bulldog, some community service on a Saturday morning, helping give a family their own front door and place to live. Hits a lot closer to home. Just hours ago, Tim Tebow was introduced as another quarterback on the New York Jets roster. Inside, he found cleaning agents, common in many households, but full of chemicals. The debate in East Gainesville has been going on for years, and it may have just gotten a little more complicated with some more options on the table. They were on the ropes against Brazil, but pulled off a dramatic come-from-behind win. After a march full of madness, #1 Kentucky and #2 Kansas square off tonight. With the lockout over and the chaos of free agency, you can bet that these players were ready to get back to work on the field. Tyler Griffin returned to action last Wednesday against CSU. Thanks, Kelly. And before we leave you tonight, here's something you probably shouldn't try at home. This is David Cannonball Smith. You'll find Dave sitting right here, row 1, seat 2. You guys excited for March Madness? You got your brackets filled out? I'm Melissa Egan. We'll be back right after this.
WFT's Melissa Egan has more.
The doors at this once Residence Inn on Southwest 13th Street have been closed for months since Shands purchased the property in December with plans to expand the current Florida Recovery Center.
What they wanted to do is create a campus-style treatment facility, because right now in the current location, program participants who come from all over the country don't have anywhere to stay.
At the public meeting last night, the Alachua County Planning Board decided to move forward with the rezoning of the property to a hospital medical district. Gainesville resident Mary Anderson says the location is perfect.
Transportation, not a problem. We've got a city bus route that's been running there successfully for years and years.
The larger recovery center is designed to treat drug addiction and eating disorders for those in the second phase of recovery. The center will remain in the model of the hotel's 10 buildings, ultimately holding 120 beds. 18 new positions will also be added to the 35-person staff.
I think this is a great asset to that particular part of Gainesville. It's well needed for the jobs and for the community. Any improvement to that end of town is greatly appreciated.
Anderson agrees and says the center is crucial for solving problems in the community.
From sitting at numerous bus stops, just push your foot a little bit and you'll see a drug bag down there. I think we've got a serious substance abuse problem in our community.
Next month, the planning board will propose the center to the county commission, hopefully getting some new residents here soon. Reporting in Gainesville, Melissa Egan, WUFT News. For Olympic swimmers, it's no surprise most of their time is spent in the pool perfecting their skills. But two former Florida Gators are taking to the streets for a different kind of workout. For Ryan Lochte and Connor Dwyer, Matt Delancey's non-traditional training is key as they prepare for the U.S. Olympic trials in June.
What's so great about working with him is he finds different things to make you better.
For Delancey, Lochte and Dwyer aren't swimmers when they step out of the pool.
Categorize athletes into two categories, hunters and farmers. Hunters are athletes that need a lot of variety. You know, they get bored, so they need a ton of variety. Farmers are kids that need consistency. It doesn't matter which one you are as long as you know which one you are.
Lochte, a hunter, and in Delancey's eyes, a rare breed from Florida.
One in every 7 or 8 years, you get a kid like that combines that much talent with that much ability to work hard. He's always looking for an edge on his competition. So that's why he's not afraid to come out here and flip a tire, drag a chain, lift something awkward over his head. I mean, for him, it's all about his swim performance.
Lochte has been training with Delancey for about 10 years, Dwyer around 2.5, dragging 525-pound chains, giving them that edge on their competition.
Or whatever you do in training should be harder. I like that a little bit more uncomfortable.
A lot of athletes wonder what we do, and because it's not typically what swimmers do for lifting. So yeah, they're asking what are we doing, and some of it we keep a secret, some of it we'll tell them.
What's no secret now is just how tough these workouts can be.
Work it up. I think we're going to have you do singles today. We'll do singles. That's all right. That's okay.
It's brutal. He definitely knows how to push an athlete, and I mean, he's a great coach. He's been there through my swimming career, and he's just helped me get a lot stronger. And I wouldn't be the same athlete I am today if it wasn't with him.
He's got his sunglasses on. He looks like the world's strongest man right now. And he's looking good.
He's a hardworking, dedicated guy, and he really likes giving all his effort to his athletes, so he's a great coach.
Locked-in Dwyer just going through the pain to stand out in the pool of competition in June. For Gator Vision, I'm Melissa Egan.
You see me out here. This is what I do 7 days a week.
That may change for Ray and other panhandlers who spend their days on the streets of Marion County if a newly drafted ordinance goes into play.
We need to do something about panhandlers.
Yes.
In an August board meeting, Commissioner Kathy Bryant brought attention to the issue after many complaints from the community, ranging from personal safety to trash being left behind.
It's creating a safety issue because they're standing in the medians at some locations, and when you've got major intersections with a lot of traffic moving through, eventually someone's going to get hurt.
Marion County did have an anti-panhandling ordinance in 2006, but it was repealed after homeless man David Boer sued the county. Boer had a long arrest record with soliciting and argued it was his First Amendment right to beg. The county settled, costing them over $150,000 in legal fees.
We are being very cautious in what we do pass so that we do not have to spend any unnecessary taxpayer money at this time for maybe a piece of legislation that won't hold up, and so we are proceeding with caution.
It's legal for the panhandlers to stay on the side of the road or in the median. When they take that step into the road is when they walk into some problems.
Is he soliciting?
Just because they're holding a sign on the side of the road doesn't necessarily mean it's a violation of the state statute under the traffic law. They have to impede the traffic, they have to stop it, for solicitation purposes.
Florida Statute 316 subsection 2 says it is unlawful for any person to obstruct the free, convenient, or normal use of any public street, highway, or road in order to solicit. And that's when Ocala Sergeant Mike Spicer says they step in.
If they do a violation, of course, then we approach them. If they don't do a violation, we'll give it a little bit, and then we'll approach them and explain to them and tell them they need to move on.
The ordinance is focused on cracking down on the exchange of money, which commissioners hope will get people out of the intersections. But that might not be the case.
Well, a lady yesterday gave me a bag of canned goods. I don't ask for money at all. I just ask for it like it says.
And what will panhandlers do if the ordinance forces them off the streets?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
That's right, it may just be the woods behind your business, your home, or on your property. But what many owners are finding out is that there's a lot of trash being left behind, and they're not happy about it.
Y'all got him on a leash?
A short walk from the main road leads you here, to Becky and two homeless men's, well, home.
You take your belongings, you take care of it. Like if you were not home, you clean. Like here, I buy Febreze air freshener and I make it fresh around here and everything. I clean.
It may not be four walls and a roof or have running water, but these woods are currently the site of 14 active homeless camps with tents used regularly in Ocala. But that is not the big issue.
They just dump everything they own. This is nothing.
This is one of the major complaints we have from property owners.
And Ocala Sergeant Mike Spicer showed me they get worse.
They collect everything they can and leave it when they vacate.
That's why property owners want them out. The woman that lives in this camp did not want to be on camera, fearing owners would recognize her and the camp's location, kick her out, and leave her with no place to go. Now, just driving along the streets, the paths to these camps may be hard to find, but what you can do is follow the trash left behind. Also, Sergeant Spicer tells me that most camps are in walking distance to a convenience store or a food source, as well as the businesses that help them, like the Salvation Army.
I'm not sure exactly.
Dennis Darnell manages a number of properties in Ocala.
Okay, yeah. See, that's what they're doing. See this?
But recently, his job has been a garbage man.
Instead of taking it to a dump or recycling wherever they're doing it, taking the brush to, they're dumping on my property, then I have it to clean up.
Back to the map, this is the area of property Darnell manages, very close to the active camps and 16 other sites used frequently by the homeless.
I'm paying the taxes on the property and they want to use it as a dump. And I run a clean business. I've been doing this for years.
Ocala ordinance prohibits illegal lodging on private property, and Sergeant Spicer says when there is a complaint, the campers don't hesitate to pack up when asked to leave.
We had an area that was city-owned property. A lot of camps, there's probably like 4 or 5 camps back in there, and we gave the guys good 2 weeks to vacate the property, and most of them did. In fact, we went back in there when we told them we would. Didn't find a soul back in there. Again, we have the problem with the trash. That's what a lot of property owners don't like.
There are other lodging options like the Salvation Army, but most prefer to stay in their camps. So how do you survive out here?
I make it day by day the best I can.
The Citadel football team is working hard this summer, not only in the weight room, but also in the community.
We're out here helping, Habitat for Humanity. Got some teammates out here helping someone build a house, helping wherever we can, digging some holes, drilling some holes, doing it all.
About right here. He went all the way down.
For the third consecutive year, the Bulldogs lending a hand to Charleston's Habitat for Humanity, this year building houses on James Island.
Great opportunity for our guys, tremendous experience, not only in what they do for the community, but just growing as a football team closer together. I've got a number of jobs. I'm kind of a grunt man today. I've been doing a lot of shoveling. I've also been measuring just a little bit, but mostly grunting sand from one spot to another.
Now for one Bulldog, some community service on a Saturday morning, helping give a family their own front door and place to live, hits a lot closer to home.
I mean, I just remember when we first got our rooms and everybody was excited, choosing what paint to paint the walls, and just like little things like that go a long way.
The nonprofit organization provided defensive back Sadat Jean-Pierre and his family more than just a place to call home growing up in Immokalee, Florida.
It gives you a brand new start, really. It's refreshing for people who might be in like small apartments and just different kind of scenarios in life.
These affordable homes will be sold to qualified families at no profit with no interest charged. The Bulldogs helping fulfill the vision of a world where everyone has a decent place to live. And just like a Saturday in the fall at Johnson Haygood Stadium, a building site no different, and there's always time for some football.
I love being with these guys. We've got a great group of players. Everybody's excited about the 2013 season. We spend a lot of time here just getting on one another and talking about the season and what they're doing and what they're not doing. Talk about 7-on-7s in the summertime, so it is a fun time.
Melissa Egan, CitadelSports.com.